Since 2017, the Italian Wine Podcast has exploded, recently hitting 6 million listens. Support us by buying a copy of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0 or making a small donation. In return, we'll give you the chance to nominate a guest and even win lunch with Stevie Kim and Professor Attilio Scienza. Find out more at italianwinepodcast.com. Chin chin!
Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Listen in as we journey to some of Italy's most beautiful places in the company of those who know them best, the families who grow grapes and make fabulous wines. Through their stories, we will learn not just about their wines, but also about their ways of life, the local and regional foods and specialities that pair naturally with their wines, and the most beautiful places to visit. We have a wonderful journey of discovery ahead of us, and I hope you will join me. Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Today we travel to Emilia-Romagna to meet my guest, Alicia Lini of Lini 910, a family winery now in its fourth generation, making highly acclaimed Lambrusco wines, utilizing both the Martinotte as well as the Metodo Classico methods of traditional method of secondary fermentation in the bottle. Alicia, thank you so much for being my guest today. How are you?
Really happy to be here with you, Marc.
I'm very happy to have you as my guest. I tasted your wines this past year and was really excited by them. So I'm really interested in learning more about your story. First of all, for our listeners, to give them an idea of where Lini 910 is located, tell us about Reggio Emilia, about the Po Valley, the Food Valley, this area along a great Roman road. What's it like where you are? What's the countryside like?
The best. It's the best. I'm really passionate about our land. Emilia-Romagna is considered the stomach of Italy in a way. Is where we produce Parmigiano Reggiano, tortellini, tagliatelle, salame, culatello. So we need this light wine as Lambrusco is to enjoy even more, this amazing culture about food. So the Lambrusco has to be light, fruity, has to be a very simple but elegant wine at the same time.
So just for our listeners now, we're really in the heart of Emilia-Romagna, near Modena, is that correct?
We are just in the middle between the province of Reggio Emilia and the province of Modena. We are just exactly in the middle, and the little town is called Correggio. So we are not far, from both.
I'm imagining you had a very hot summer.
Very hot summer and very cold winter.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's an exciting moment now, Alicia. The grapes are ready to be harvested. Has the harvest begun?
Yeah, and just this week. So we are very excited. And we have managed work because the winery is, renew itself. I'm ready to leave for the States. So it's a really full moment.
Okay. So an exciting moment.
An exciting moment, 100%.
Okay. Now, Lini 910, the name of the winery now, alludes to the fact that the history goes back to 1910.
Yeah.
Tell us something of the story of your family in making wine in this part of Emilia-Romagna.
It was my great-grandfather that started to produce wine in the 1910, and then the generation of my grandfather, and then the generation of my dad, his brother and sister, and me and my cousin and my brother now. So I represent the generation number 4. And really, in more than a century, the description of our story is really different, difficult, and the words change so many times. Not just the word, but also the wine word in a way. but really, really fascinating. Of course, the wine world that I'm living now is really different from my grandfather, of course, from my great grandfather, but in a way also from the generation of my parents as well.
Tell me your own story, Alicia. You didn't actually always intend to go into the world of wine.
Well, I study classic ballet, so I just wanted to become a classical ballerina. But then, just started to grow in my mind the idea that one day I could join the winery, the family. And after, I took my bachelor degree and my master degree in UK. I want to stay there for PhD. But my dad called me back and I say, no, just try to join the family business. And if you like it, you will stay. If you don't like it, you will go back wherever you want to go. So I come back and I joined. I really like it. And because we are here connected, so definitely I stayed. So, and it's been, Mark, really tough in the beginning because at the time, almost 25 years ago, the perception about Lambrusco was still cheap and sweet. And my family tried to fight for decades and never came down to the compromise to produce a sweet Coke in a way. So it's been really tough, try to fight and affirm and try to get a really cultural, educational approach about palate and what you should expect from a good glass of Lambrusco. And in a way, we try to step back instead to promote Lini, the family, and our culture. We want to promote a strong territory in itself and what the quality could symbolize, the real territory and the real authenticity of Lambrusco. So step
Absolutely.
by step.
That is so interesting because, as you say, Lambrusco has been a wine that is not always understood. The real Lambrusco as experienced in the region, in Emilia, as opposed to, the huge quantities that are exported and perhaps gave that name to the wine. But when I've traveled to the area, I've just been so excited by how well the wines, you've alluded to this, Alicia, of how well the wines go with the local foods. And we'll talk about that a bit later. But at Lini, you have been really at the forefront of something of a revolution in the Lambrusco wine country. Would you say that's true?
It's true, 100%. There was a very deep revolution, and the first revolution that my family tried to make it, and I think in the name of my dad, that when he just joined the family as well, and he became the winemaker of our family, he decided to not come to any compromises. And was really tough at the time, Mark, because the majority of Lambrusco exported was just sweet, was amabile. And in a way, I can say in a provocative way that the amabile doesn't exist. It was an invention in a way, because you cannot enjoy a place of tortellini and a plate of cappelletti, we say, or a plate of lasagne or a slice of culatello with a sweet wine. Just the opposite. The Lambrusco has to be dry, very clean, very net, sparkling, but in a very slow way. So has to incorporate the bubble, has to be simple but elegant, as we said in the beginning. My dad said, if we have a chance to make it, we have at this level. And instead to see the bad aspect, we wanted to focus on the top, and we never stop. My family is famous because we have been the first to start to elaborate the Lambrusco grapes also through a classic method. And these were the time where even most difficult to maintain this process, very elegant, but also very expensive. And nobody understood that at the time, because the content was cheap and sweet and obtained in a very quick way, do you understand? So the opposite was to obtain Lambrusco in months, in years, and through a natural fermentation, through direct into the bottle like a champagne. So it's been, a very unbelievable challenge. Wine Spectator just recognized the quality of this Lambrusco. And this has been, a new beginning.
That's really interesting. And also, of course, that would have been the recognition that Wine Spectre gave when they selected your wine for Opera Wine for the 100 best Italian wines, with the Lambrusco amongst the 100 best Italian wines. And very important and prestigious selection, a very important, wonderful opportunity to taste these wines. It's Opera Wine takes place just before Vinitaly. And I had a chance to taste your wine for the first time last year at Opera Wine, and I remember I was very impressed. You were in very good company with some of the greatest names in Italian wine, and so that must have been very satisfying for you.
Well, step by step, we are trying to rebuild, the palate about the authentic Lambrusco. And every single market, and from the press, of course, to people that work in the sector, and also, every single consumer are really seduced, are really attracted, about the authenticity. There is no bluff. You can obtain Lambrusco in a week of fermentation. Our entry level stay between at least 3 or 4 months, and natural fermentation, double fermentation. And this is the best satisfaction, when someone recognizes inside the glass the real quality and the real authenticity. There is nothing to add, do you understand? So it's really amazing. It's really fluent now. Just be there in a very authentic way, and everything happen. And I have to say that this is a really special moment for our winery, for our family, because after many years where we insist, we fight, I'm in the States every month. I meet, really many, many people, and very also people that study, people that dedicate, about how to learn, how to understand the territory. Lambrusco is really big family. There are many clones. There is Lambrusco Salamino, Lambrusco Sorbara, Lambrusco Grasparossa, Lambrusco, many. And every varieties give you something different, and how to interpret this is
Well,
really
tell us
fascinating.
a little bit about a few of these important varieties, because they are very different. Lambrusco di Sorbara,
Yeah,
making that pale.
it's a big family, and
Yeah. What
I
are the most
think
important for you?
for my family, 100% Salamino, which is for my dad, who is the winemaker, is the one that give to the final result to more elegancy. But this is our experience, that we are talking about interpretation and passion and personal taste. There is an objectively interpretation and a subjectively interpretation. Sorbara is amazing for its own freshness, amazing acidity. Grasparossa is more full in terms of color, is a really full red Lambrusco version, and probably more round in a way. But there are many, and I think that this is the special challenge for everyone to find the best that you can, you can find match with many things, because we were talking about food, and of course, when you join Lambrusco together with our food territory is amazing. But at the same time, in being away, in many occasions, I experienced Lambrusco with fish, with the salad, with the sandwich, with the pasta, not just with the traditional plates, which is of course, the best and the top.
Wine to Wine Business Forum. Everything you need to get ahead in the world of wine. Supersize your business network. Share business ideas with the biggest voices in the industry. Join us in Verona on November 13 to 14, 2023. Tickets available now at winetowine.net.
So, Alicia, these various varieties of Lambrusco that you've just explained, Sorbara, Grasparossa, Salamino, and others, actually mean that Lambrusco isn't a single wine. There are a variety of styles, some deep in color, some light in color. And actually, Lambrusco becomes a really versatile wine, and you can have different Lambruschi on different occasions. Would you say that's correct?
Is perfect. Yeah, is correct 100%. Lambrusco is a very versatile wine. It goes in many occasions. I think that we try to explain this versatility and people are really surprised. It's just 11 vol the majority of the times that you can enjoy a glass of Lambrusco. So the pleasure and the drinkability is just there. It's a very food-friendly wine. So no food, no Lambrusco. Some food, yes. Lambrusco, yes, you can enjoy Lambrusco.
What food? The foods of your area are some of the most delicious and famous in the world. Let's talk about the really typical cucina of Emilia, the foods that go so well with your wines.
Yeah, I really, really like erbazzone, which is a kind of spinach cake.
Yes.
That you can enjoy every moment during the day, from breakfast to lunch as a aperitif. Is amazing, made with Parmigiano Reggiano, with some ricotta, some eggs, and you can have with or without pasta. There are many recipes, and I think that this is really cool. I enjoy with just a slice of prosciutto Parmigiano Reggiano as a finger food. I like it with gnocco fritto, which is kind of a fried pasta that is with salume. I love with tortelli, pancake, and spinach.
So the tortelli would be really typical of
and
Reggio Emilia.
Yes, and tortellini with broth, Parmesan cream, Parmigiano cream.
Oh gosh, you're making me very hungry. It sounds wonderful.
Yeah, me too. And while you are enjoying all of this food, a bottle of Lambrusco is like, I don't know, goes, just because this food is really rich, we need this light wine in order to reset, re-prepare the palate to enjoy again the food. So it's just a dance between food and wine, food and Lambrusco, food and Lambrusco.
I love that, just a dance, and you as a dancer telling us this. And I think you're absolutely right. It's an example of where the wine is in perfect harmony with the local foods. As you say, that richness of the food needs the freshness of Lambrusco, the acidity of Lambrusco, of these dry Lambruschi that really are made to be drunk with friends, casually, happily. It's a happy wine.
Exactly. It's really happy wine. And I think that people are really surprised to enjoy this pleasure, this quality, and this drinkability all together. So I think that the evolution of Lambrusco is amazing, and the success is unbelievable now. It's really unbelievable.
Yes, I think it's come full circle now. And Lambrusco is the sort of wine that many of us are looking for. As you say, it's a little bit lower in alcohol, and it's a wine you can really drink very enjoyably on many, many occasions.
When I travel and I find myself in many different contests, I had the opportunity to enjoy Lambrusco during finger food party, during a barbecue, in a really elegant dinner, our metodo classico millesime Lambrusco grapes. I enjoy this in my personal life, in front of the TV, just around the table with my friends. So it's really, really versatile. And I think that you can enjoy Lambrusco in many, many different occasions. And this is a part of the idea that you should have a bottle of Lambrusco in your fridge or in every occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as we've been speaking about real, genuine, serious Lambrusco, the wines you're producing, as opposed to the wines that perhaps gave Lambrusco its previous reputation, there's another product I'd like to speak briefly with you about, which is the aceto balsamico tradizionale is it di Modena or di Reggio Emilia that you're
Di
making?
Reggio Emilia.
The
Yeah,
Reggio Emilia,
Emilia.
which again, I think it's important for our listeners to understand the difference of real, genuine, traditional balsamic vinegar as opposed to the industrially produced. So maybe just a few words.
Well, my family started to produce this with the generation of my great grandfather, and we never stopped. Historically, it was a kind of dowry. So when a baby girl was born, you put away some barrel of balsamic. And hopefully, when she was ready to get married, this was a part of a family gift. This is historically what family were used to make it. And my family did this for a personal use. And then we just want to divulgate the pleasure and the quality of an authentic traditional balsamic vinegar. This is an amazing product that has, we spent more than 12 years in order to obtain a little bottle of balsamic. And this is considered, red lobster. And then there is silver, is even if, the silver is more aged. And then there is the gold, which is sometimes more than 25 or 30 years old.
And of course, Alicia, these are qualifications that are granted by the Consorzio. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because it's a very, very well regulated for the traditional aceto balsamico, which is very important. Now, just to how perhaps one might best enjoy that, maybe just a few drops on a piece of Parmigiano Reggiano and a glass of Lambrusco.
When we start to enjoy the balsamic, you should hand it to enjoy the wine, because the balsamic is the final close in your palate. And is amazing with the Parmigiano Reggiano, is amazing on ice cream, and is top on strawberry. Mark, we just talk about food all the time.
Yes.
But this is Emilia. You wanted to know about Emilia? This is Emilia. You drive a Ferrari, you enjoy the balsamic vinegar, you drink a good glass of our Lambrusco, and this is the energy. And you hear Pavarotti.
And you hear Pavarotti, yes.
And you hear Pavarotti. And I think that this is an atmosphere and a really authentic energy that you can have here in Emilia.
I think it's important that people come to Emilia to experience Lambrusco as it is in the area, to taste these wonderful foods, to learn about the culture and the history. And so I encourage our listeners to make sure that they visit when they're next in the area. Can people visit the Lini winery?
Yeah, you are very welcome. People are welcome. They can get in contact with the winery by email, and we fix an appointment. The tour and everything is really familiar. You just join the family. I will be there. You will have a tour with me and a little taste with me. It's really a family contest. Someone said that what Emilia didn't have, they created. And it's really true that our mentality, our DNA, just work hard and enjoy hard. And I think that who has the opportunity to join, to experience the Emilianity, can breathe exactly this. The beauty, but at the same time, a contest where people work hard, and then, the pleasure of food and wine is just there, that is waiting for you.
Well, absolutely wonderful. I look forward to visiting myself, hopefully sometime soon. Alicia, thank you so much for being my guest today. I've really enjoyed our conversation. I enjoyed tasting your wines earlier in the year, and I look forward to sampling them again as soon as I can. But in the meantime, thank you very much. I hope the harvest goes well, and best of luck with everything. Grazie.
Grazie, Mark. Thank you so much from my heart. Thank you.
Grazie. Ciao.
Ciao.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Please remember to like, share and subscribe right here or wherever you get your pods. Likewise, you can visit us at ItalianWinePodcast.com. Until next time, chin chin.